Someone probably told you that collecting rainwater is illegal. It isn't. Not in a single one of the 50 United States, not in the UK, and not in Australia, where on many new homes they actually make you do it. That one myth has talked people out of the cheapest water source they will ever own, the roof over their head, because every time it rains, your roof catches a small fortune in water and then throws every drop of it away. A normal house roof, in normal rainfall, sheds 25 to 30,000 gallons a year straight down the gutter and into the dirt. Free water, legally yours, running off the edge of your house your whole life. So here's the honest plan. I'll show you how much your roof really makes, exactly what the law says, where you live, the well option for when rain isn't enough, and how to make any of it safe to drink. And I'll be straight about the one part the free water forever crowd always skips, because free to collect is not the same thing as free to drink. Let's kill the myth first, because it stops people before they even start. No US state bans rainwater collection. None of them. The whole, its illegal idea comes from old Western water law, prior appropriation, where rain that landed on your roof was technically promised to someone downstream. That created confusion, not a ban. Today, the map is simple. Most states collect all you want. A handful of dry Western states just put a light cap on it. Colorado was the only true ban that ever existed, and it repealed that in 2016. Now you can keep 2 barrels for outdoor use. Utah lets you store a couple hundred gallons freely, or up to 2,500 with a free registration. Nevada allows about a barrel, and some places push the other way. Florida actually bars towns from banning it, and Texas hands you a tax break for doing it. The honest takeaway is this: you almost never need permission to collect rain. You just need to know your one local rule, if there even is one. And it's not just America. In the UK, collecting pure rainwater needs no license at all. There's nothing to apply for. The only real rule there is a plumbing one. Your rain supply has to be kept physically separate from the clean mains water so the two can never mix. In Australia, harvesting isn't just legal. In several states, it's required, with tanks mandated on new homes. So across the whole English-speaking world, the legal picture points the same direction. Catching the rain that falls on your own roof is your right, sometimes even your duty. The permission you actually need isn't from a government. It's from physics, knowing how much falls and what it takes to make it safe, which is exactly where the real work starts. So how much does fall? Here's the number that changes how you look at your own house. Every inch of rain on 1,000 square feet of roof gives you about 623 gallons. If you think in metric, it's even cleaner. 1 millimeter of rain on 1 square metre is exactly 1 litre. And the catch area isn't the slanted roof, you see. It's the footprint, the shape of the house seen from straight above. Pitch doesn't matter because the rain falls on the flat area underneath. So a modest 1,500 square foot roof in a place that gets 30 to 36 inches of rain a year brings in somewhere around 25 to 30,000 gallons. Knock off a little for real-world loss. A metal roof keeps about 95%, asphalt shingle a bit less. Run the math on your own roof and your own local rainfall before you buy a single barrel. It tells you whether rain can carry your whole supply or just take a chunk off the bill. Now the part the Free Water Forever videos quietly skip. Rainwater is not automatically safe to drink. The people who say otherwise are the ones who'll get you sick. The health agencies say it plainly. Rainwater is not necessarily safe to drink without first removing germs and chemicals from it. Think about the trip that water takes. It falls through the air, picking up dust, smoke, and trace pollutants found in rain almost everywhere now. It hits your roof, where it meets bird droppings, debris, and whatever leaches out of the roofing itself. Then it sits in a tank where still water grows algae and breeds mosquitoes. The water that's perfectly fine for your garden the moment it lands is not the water you put in a glass. The roof matters too. Smooth coated metal is good. Old asphalt, shingle, and lead flashing are not for drinking. So here's the honest line. Collecting rain is free. Making it safe to drink is the part you actually pay for. The good news is the treatment chain is simple and the order is fixed. It goes first flush, then sediment, then carbon, then UV. First flush dumps the dirty initial wash off the roof, so the worst of it never reaches your tank. The sediment filter clears the particles. Carbon pulls out odors and many chemicals, and UV light, which kills the living things, has to come last, because UV only works on clear water. Any cloudiness, and the particles literally cast shadows that microbes hide behind. If you'd rather not run power for UV, boiling works instead. A rolling minute kills the germs. But remember, boiling kills life, it does not remove chemicals or metals. And one myth to bury for good. A reverse osmosis filter on its own is not enough because it doesn't reliably kill bacteria and viruses. Pair it with UV or boiling. The lesson? Order matters, UV goes last, and if you can't test your water, don't trust it. People obsess over the filter and forget the tank. But storage is where off-grid water is actually won or lost. The classic mistake is sizing for one big storm. You're not catching a storm. You're banking the wet season to carry you through the dry one. A rough starting point is a tank in gallons roughly equal to your roof in square feet. Then you refine that against how much water you actually use month to month. Build in a first flush diverter, about 10 gallons of diversion for every 1,000 square feet of roof. Make your overflow pipe at least as wide as the inlet and aim it away from the foundation or a heavy storm pushes water back at your house. If you freeze in winter, bury the tank below the frost line or drain it. And keep the tank dark and screened. Sunlight grows algae, open holes invite mosquitoes. The cheapest start is a recycled tote, but it has to be shaded. The gold standard is a buried cistern. You just pay for the digging. Rain isn't your only source of free water, and honestly, it isn't always the best one. If you can legally drill, a well usually wins on pure economics. It taps groundwater that doesn't care about this week's weather, and where the water table allows it, it can pay for itself in years rather than decades. A few $1,000 to $15,000 to drill, and then water that's basically yours. A natural spring on your land is even better. Free water that moves itself downhill with gravity. And gray water. The water you've already used once, from sinks and showers, can be sent back out to the garden, so you simply need less fresh water in the first place. Rainwater's real advantage isn't that it's the cheapest, it's that it's the most universal. Every roof, everywhere, catches it with no drilling rig and no aquifer required. So the smart move is to stack your sources. Rain for what falls on you, a well or spring if the land gives you one, gray water so you waste less of all of it. Here's where I have to be straight with you, because most off-grid channels won't. If you already have cheap city water, rainwater harvesting will probably not save you money. Municipal water is astonishingly cheap. The average household pays around $1,000 a year, and a full system that makes rainwater safe to drink can run $8,000 to $10,000 or more. Pay that back on water savings alone, and you're looking at 20, 30, sometimes 36 years. A barrel for the garden pays off fast. A whole home drinking system, measured against cheap city water, may never. Incentives change that math. Some states waive the tax, and some cities literally pay you per gallon of storage you install. But the real reason to do this was never the spreadsheet. It's resilience. It's the tap that still runs when the grid goes down, the bill that can't be raised on you, and the supply that nobody can shut off. That's the part that isn't priced in dollars. So here's the whole truth about free water, the honest version. It is real, and it is legal. Your roof hands you tens of thousands of gallons a year. Your land may sit on a well or a spring, and across the US, the UK, and Australia, almost nobody can stop you collecting what falls on you. But free is the collection, not the drinking. The cost didn't disappear. It just moved out of the monthly bill and into the tank and the filter you built once. And the payoff was never really about the money. It's about owning the one thing every living thing needs and never having to ask anyone for it again. So run the math on your roof. Check your one local rule. Build the treatment chain in the right order. And the water that's been running off your gutter your whole life finally becomes yours. That's not a life hack. That's independence. One rainfall at a time.